Previously on New Crits on the Block.
And you now just need to get across the river.
Do we see that boat or one of the boats that does the transports there?
And he takes you back across the river, and you are now back in the city proper on the other side of the lightning barriers. You see Styx is still sitting on the bench looking out in the distance. You returned. What do you have to show me?
Oh, with pleasure, my friend. And I walk up over to him and bingo bango, flash him with it.
All four of his eyes open, and all four of his eyes start weeping blood. And as you put the book down and close it and look at him, he says, "Oh." And welcome back to New Crits on the Block presents Blades in the Dark, a spooky story that we do that has nothing to do with Halloween, but we happen to be doing it right around Halloween time. Speaking of which, I hope you guys enjoyed our yearly Halloween special, expertly DM'd by our fly-by-night DM, Matt Patullo here. Matt,
That's me.
You want to give us a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look on how that went down?
Nope.
All right, well, that's all I have for this episode. See you next week, guys. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV lately. I have been kind of shirking my duties. So this is going to be a collaborative storytelling event because I don't know how much I have to offer you. I'm just kidding. Cool. I don't have anything to offer you.
You never do.
Ever.
It's okay. We're used to that.
Oh.
I'm just joshing you.
Now you know how it feels, Ben.
I'm so hurt.
Oh, you understand.
What do you guys think you're going to do this year for Halloween? You guys got some Halloween I know this came out after.
Guys, he really doesn't have anything.
He really doesn't have anything, huh? Okay.
Guys, he wasn't kidding.
What have you guys been up to? What's new?
Can we talk about my yearly pumpkin spice thing again?
Election year, am I right?
Oh, I haven't looked at my...
well, this is coming out after that's happened, I believe.
Oh.
It is, and
if it even
I have
comes out
my
after that
election
well,
guide.
if the world still exists after
I have
that.
my election guide right here. Okay, you can see general election, and I think that it's a solemn public duty for us to go through all of the propositions together. And look at this, Proposition 4 authorizes bonds for safe drinking water. Yeah, right. I'm sure. Let's talk about that, huh? Who's really behind this? I don't have anything, guys.
He's
I really
struggling.
don't have anything.
Guys.
I need help.
I don't even know where we left off. So why don't you just... Oh, boy.
Ben's gonna make
something about
a political, like political drama episode this time.
Yeah, do that.
When we last left off,
When we
last left off, you guys managed to obtain the book that you were hired to get, the Necronomicon, which promptly, when you opened it, you had flashes of very disturbing visions of eyeless, naked people staring at you and giant eyeballs staring at you in the sky.
Arlo's going to kind of chime in. So was this the book you were expecting?
He doesn't take his eyes off of the pages, and he just continues staring at the text.
Maybe we close the book real quick.
as he just hemorrhages blood out of his eyes.
Yeah, Sync, if you don't mind. Unless we're trying to kill him and then keep it open, I guess. I don't.
No, we didn't get paid.
Yeah, so close it.
All right. I'm gonna walk up there and shut the book.
Yeah, I think you were holding it out. So you closed the
I
book
was.
on him.
Flashbanged him.
Yeah. He's sitting there. He has the Counter-Strike flashbang effect where it's just and everything's just white as he suddenly regains his field of vision. Well, I'm sorry, Arlo, your question. I'm afraid I was a bit predisposed.
Oh, yes. Was this the book that you were looking for?
I suppose it was.
That's... Well, we got it. So where's our money?
Mm-hmm. That's all we really care about. We just want to get paid.
Yes.
I'm going to snap my fingers in front of his face like, hello. Hey.
Yes.
Like it was, come on, it wasn't that bad. We all went through it. We're all fine.
We should talk.
After you give us the money. Yes. I just want to, let's square away deal 1. Then we progress to deal 2.
Follow me. And he proceeds to walk away.
Where's he going?
He hasn't paid us yet. I guess we follow.
Well,
him.
maybe that's where we're going. He's probably going to his piggy bank or something.
Keep up. Let's go. Follow him.
So you follow Styx, and without even saying it, you guys just naturally do some scoundrelly, shady ass thing where you follow him at a distance without really looking like you're following him. He seems like he's wise to scoundrel-like behaviors. There's almost like common thievery tricks that you do in order to trespass through an area without knowing you're together, and you all just kind of fall into this natural rhythm. And you proceed to follow him through the city district of Six Towers, which I described before as being very run down and full of old Victorian houses. And some people say that this district is haunted. And I said that other people would agree with them. And as you turn one corner and then turn another and another, you finally find yourself standing in front of a large Victorian house that oddly enough seems to be wedged between other buildings. You actually wouldn't have known it was there had you not known the exact path to take to get there. Almost like these buildings were built around it and encased around it. And he is waiting for you at the front door. Welcome. Perhaps we can discuss our deal further. And he proceeds to step away from the front door and goes around the side of the house and opens a window and climbs inside.
Of course he does.
I knew it.
Do we have to use the window too, or can we just go through the front?
I'm using the door.
You're welcome to enter through the door if you like.
I would like.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk my way up to the door and walk on inside because, again, I want to get paid.
You go to open the door. Do you touch it?
Yeah, I open the door.
The door doesn't open. It appears to be locked.
Hey,
Unlock it.
Could you please unlock the door? I don't want to have to climb up into a window like some little weirdo.
Oh, you are quite capable of unlocking a door, are you not?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not trying. I did my thieving already. This is my off time.
I think you should try to unlock the door.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. This guy.
See why I didn't want to help him? He's very annoying.
Can I just...
Yeah, but he's got money.
Oh, I shouldn't kick his door in then.
No,
just hold on.
Open it up.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to open this door then by using lockpick.
Yeah, you don't have to roll anything. You go to stick your lockpick inside this lock and you realize it's not a lock. This is a false door. It actually, upon further inspection, you realize there is no front door. It's literally a facade. It's like somebody has adhered pieces of wood to the front of this house to look like a door. It doesn't open.
What?
And you hear him chuckling inside.
Oh, this little piece of shit. I got to tell you, it's really grinding my gears here, getting on my last nerve.
He's very annoying.
I guess we're going through
You
the
hear him
window.
say, I will lower you a ladder. And he lowers a ladder from the window, a little rope ladder for you guys to climb inside.
Is this how you get in every single time?
This is how I get into this home, yes.
Could you not just have the back door?
What? All right. I'm going to, once again, huff myself over to this little rope ladder and start climbing up that.
He helps you up. Like as you get to the top, he puts his hands out and he kind of like pulls you on in.
No, I don't need your help. Thank you. You've helped quite enough. Thanks.
Your top hat knocks off at the top of the window as you climb in.
Ah. But do I catch it?
Yeah, you pick it up. It's just
I catch it.
It's an annoying process. You all climb inside from this window.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess.
You all climb inside this old Victorian house, and he pulls up the rope ladder and closes the window and locks it behind you. I should mention that when you walked up to the Victorian house, yes, it was like boxed in and very difficult to see because the whole world's dark as it is. Not a lot of lights here. Very difficult to find this place otherwise. It looks like there was like an old rusty iron gate that like led to it. But it's weird. It's open, but it's not like, it's one of those like tiny iron fences that you could just step over. So you're not entirely sure what the purpose of it is. Maybe keep a small dog in or something if they existed in this world. Maybe those things don't exist anymore.
Mine does.
Dogs?
True. You have a full-blown wolf.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Maybe
Wolf dog.
I mean, in a city like this, they were probably all consumed as a source of nutrition at some point. And so you climb into this home, and he lights a few lanterns around the house. And as you glance about the old Victorian home, you see, like so many movies before that have described old mansions that aren't being used properly, there's just sheets everywhere. Everywhere that there is some type of furniture, there's like a sheet over it. It lends to this air of like mystery, but also like, oh, everything's being unused because, it's this, why would anyone, we don't use this room anymore. So we just closed it and put sheets on everything. But the one thing that does appear to be fairly well trafficked and used is the kitchen. The kitchen is, for all intents and purposes, spotless for a kitchen in the world of Duskfall, and is well provided with pots and pans and spatulas and whatnot. Although you wonder, what could he be cooking?
What are they cooking? Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like is mushrooms and rot fish is all that exists. Sometimes people eat like, if they can catch it, eel or rats, but he has a very well stocked and put together kitchen, which makes sense. These items existed since before the calamity. Why could somebody not put them together and get a full, like, Gordon fucking Ramsay kitchen set? I don't even actually know if that quality is any good. He might just have his name on it. Regardless, there is also a single table in that room. And a couch that you think he probably looks like he sleeps on, judging from the indents on. And he proceeds to glance around the room and he says, "You must be tired. Please have a seat. I need a moment to think. I will prepare us something to eat." And he goes into the kitchen and he starts preparing something. What do you guys do?
Does it smell good? What does it smell like?
It's early in the preparation, but it looks like, he does have a bunch of mushrooms because that's just standard. Eating mushrooms in this world is like eating potatoes in ours, or, it's just like, well, that's just a base thing you consume. So he's gotten a bunch of mushrooms out and he's proceeding to chop them up. And you do see at one point he opens a large pot, and inside that pot, you can hear something moving around. And he puts on these long gloves with a pair of tongs, and he reaches inside and he grabs something that's like wiggling all over the place, and he takes out a knife and he proceeds to stick it And as it's wiggling, it stops wiggling. And then he slides the knife down this long snake-like creature. And you realize that this is an eel, which is one of the few things that you can't actually find as a source of food in the Dosk River. The problem is that they're violent and dangerous and hard to capture. It looks like he had a few just kind of like hanging out in here.
And we can hear your kids.
Those girls are going
nuts.
That is the noise of eels when you slaughter them.
Is that the sound?
Yes.
Yeah. Put into the
That's
pot?
what you're hearing. I can't do anything about those screaming kids, guys.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
They're
It's
only
fine.
going to get louder.
No, it's totally fine. It's just
I have a live
funny.
band playing in the downtown area near me. Luckily, it hasn't been picking it up too much, but
Yeah.
Oh boy.
no.
And he proceeds to cut up this eel, and it looks like he's chopping it up and like removing the skin from it. And he seems to be cooking not just a normal meal, but what looks like it might be a particularly well-made one, which is something that many of you are probably not accustomed to. Now, of course, that's your own background stories.
I am.
Yeah, you might be. You might recognize this as like, oh, this guy knows how to fucking cook. But for a lot of you, food is just something you're lucky to have. This time spent to like prepare something is a luxury that most people wouldn't be afforded. And he's cooking a meal over there. And yes, to answer your question, Rufus, it smells kind of good. He has like some saute shit going on, and there's like crackling and bubbling. It doesn't just smell good. It sounds good. What do you guys do while he's making this meal?
Well, I mean, do we eat it? Hold on. Do we get paid first? Do we eat what he's cooking?
We still haven't gotten paid, but I mean, the least he could do for making us wait this long is to make a meal for us. I guess.
I guess.
It doesn't seem like we have a choice. He won't pay us. He just keeps doing other things.
Do you want to try to do, your thing and see if he even has the money?
Like sneak around?
I mean, you are Zink the Stink.
It's true.
I am Zink the Stink. You are right about that. I mean, you want me just to peek in there and see what he's doing?
I guess.
Anything, really.
Sure. Just get to the bottom of this. Tell him to hurry up.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go and slink into the kitchen without trying to be seen just to see if I can like look at what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you are an expert, lurk, right? You're a lurk. And that you have just amazing abilities to sneak. I'm not going to make you roll anything for this, mostly because we're out of a score. You manage to peek in there and you're watching him. And Zink, do you know anything about fine cooking?
No.
He seems to be putting a lot of different.
No.
Yeah, you're like, I can't have every character know how to cook.
I know. I want to, but I'm like, no, I can't.
No.
He seems to be adding a lot of different like powders and dashes of things of different colors. I mean, you as a lurk know, like when you poison someone, you put stuff in their food. What else could he possibly be putting in food other than poison? And eventually he finishes and he comes out. It's taken about like an hour or so, which I suppose in a world where there's no jobs and everyone is just thieving from each other is like, there's not really a lot of rush. What am I worried? The sun's going to go down. And he comes out with a prepared meal, and he hands you all a small bowl full of a mushroom soup and a small plate with a small amount of eel meat that looks kind of like crispy on the outside. And it kind of glistens a little bit. And what he has prepared for you is a mushroom stew with grilled eel using a rot honey glaze.
Okay. Well,
and he also hands you a cup of water.
Oh,
and
good.
He puts all the food down in front of everyone and he says, Please pardon my lack of accommodations. I rarely have visitors, and the previous owner was somewhat of a shut-in. Although, due to which their inevitable death allowed me to obtain the property for what you might call a steal.
I can imagine.
And he gestures to the food to eat it.
Okay, Bob.
I mean, yeah, there's no door, so a shut-in by default.
Damn it, he said it before I did. That was kind of my line.
I didn't realize I was making that joke till just now. Allow me to dispel any concerns that you might have. Who is the most afraid of being poisoned here?
Arlo would raise his hand. Like,
I think we all don't want to be poisoned.
Well, never mind. I poison myself every night, so
yeah,
I'm not concerned about it at all.
He reaches over and takes like a little bit of broth from every one of your soups, and he puts it in his, just like a small tablespoon. He hasn't stuck his fork or spoon or anything in his mouth yet. And he takes a little bit of his fish, his eel, and he takes a little bit of your eel and he puts it on his plate, and he takes his eel and he kind of moves it around. He kind of mixes everything together in front of you guys. It's all the same food. And he says, its preparation is ruined, but its flavor should be unaffected. And he proceeds to eat his food, which has now been mixed with your food. So if he poisoned you, he's poisoning himself now.
I'm going to start eating.
Yeah, I'll take a bite, see what we're working with here.
All right.
I'll watch everyone else take a bite and then decide if I want to.
Yeah, same.
Like, Arlo, try this for me.
No.
Everyone make a Constitution saving throw. That doesn't exist in this game. Also, you don't have to because it's not poisoned. It's actually just fucking delicious.
Like how delicious?
Yeah.
You've never had, maybe if Lila's character tries it, maybe she's had something this good, but I think most of you have probably not had food this good before.
Arlo,
ever.
as a slave, definitely had some top-notch gourmet
You probably
meals.
saw people eating top-notch food, but
I get out of the trash, okay?
A little different.
I give it a 7 out of 10. It's decent. A little overcooked on the eel, but
this is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, this might be the best thing I've ever had in my life.
This might have been
Not
the best
me.
thing I ever had in my life.
3 out of 4 is not bad. And I suppose having any positivity from somebody of Lila's high stature should be rewarding in itself.
Well, her stature is usually pretty low.
As we're doing this, Bezos's body, which is lying on the ground in the room, proceeds to wake up. We brought him with you, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and a bag over his head, and he starts to wake up and starts like,
Can I knock him out?
No, don't knock him.
He's all tied up, so he can't really do anything, but he has the bag over his head.
Isn't he still is he still possessed?
He's lacking a soul, so he's kind of zombied out.
I still think we should just kill him. This kind of
We will not kill him. We're going to fix him.
His soul is in the ether. You saw it, right? You said it like you saw his soul ghost thing is out there. What are we going to do? We're going to haul him around everywhere we go? Sticks.
Put it back.
Sir, this soulless husk.
Yes, I've been meaning to ask you about him. I forgot to bring it up sooner as the DM. Who is that? Because he hasn't seen his face yet. The guy has a bag over his head.
It's one of the guys you sent last time.
It's Bezos. He is a acquaintance of mine.
Ah, the original contract I had. You've brought him back. I assumed he was dead, as I did see his soul escape the soul vessel. Unfortunate business that was. So if his soul was gone, then I assume that this is just his body?
Yes.
That would be correct.
He bit me. Still a little upset about that.
He bit you. Oh.
Yeah, should I not have said that? I mean, do I lose my soul now? Is that how these things work?
Don't you know that when bitten by a hollow, one becomes a hollow themselves? We're going to have to put you down and out of your misery before that happens.
That's too bad. I'll do it.
And he leans in and smiles widely. Just kidding.
Yep, me too.
I was going to have to murder all of you if that was the case.
Good luck.
You are safe here.
No
You're
one is
safe
murdering
here.
anyone.
Except me killing Bezos.
No,
Yes,
Li-
like,
why don't
like Lila
we-
said, no one is murdering anyone.
I am having a
I was
difficult time
cut off.
enjoying our meal with the hollow growling at my feet. Perhaps we can put him in one of the rooms.
In a
room. And so he
Oh.
proceeds to a room. So he proceeds to open a door.
Seems to.
And he opens a door, and you guys, if you wish to, can put this tied up body with a bag over its head behind a closed door somewhere.
I've dragged him enough. Lila, since you want to keep him around, please.
Sure. Come with me, Bezos, in here, and I'll just kind of push him
Yeah.
around.
Where do you put him? Do you put him in like a bedroom? Do you put him in a broom closet? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know. What's the door he just opened? What was it?
Let's do some stuff for fun. You know, like I don't have to decide everything. Where do you want to put this guy?
It's a closet, and I'm putting him in there.
I love it. You open up a broom closet and stick him inside next to a bunch of cleaning stuff and shut the
Just-
door.
Stay here for a moment. Take a little rest. You'll be fine. Thank you.
And the door shuts behind you, and you return to your meal, and you all eat quietly for a while. I mean, you're enjoying the food so much that you're just like, I don't want this to go to waste. But at some point, it does become worthwhile to begin discussing. And the silence is finally broken by Styx as he says, I needed time to think after being shown the book. A curious artifact indeed. Cooking helps me think, clears my head. My employers were right to try and obtain this tomb. He finishes his meal and sets it down. But they didn't realize that some things are worth more than coin. And his eyes stare at wherever the book is. Do I assume Arlo still has it?
Zink had it last, only unless Zink wrapped it
Oh,
and
okay.
handed it back to me.
Whoever
I think
has
I was,
it.
Yeah, I think Arlo has been the one that has been carrying it for the most part.
Okay. Wherever it wound up, he eyes that location somewhat excitedly. I will make you another offer. We lie to my employers. Tell them that you managed to make it to the library, but no such book existed. Overall, you failed at the job. We then keep the book. Here, if you wish, where you will allow me to study it. This, and he kind of looks around the room, domicile can become your home away from home, so to say. And I will add my personal stash to your coffers. Without the aid of my previous employers, unfortunately cannot offer you the full 12 coin, as I simply personally do not have that much. But I can offer you 8. And my undying gratitude and servitude if you allow me to continue to study this rare artifact.
Hey everyone, it's Favorite Player Matt, and welcome to this week's Middle Break. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Is it a show? I guess it's a show. It's not really a show. I feel like that's more of a live thing, which is why I started singing, because I felt like that was such a, like at the intermission going into it, like, I hope you enjoy the show so far. Go get some snacks and come back into your seat and visit the bar, you know? Anyways, if you want to help our podcast continue to thrive, there's a couple of things you can do to help with that. The first thing, of course, subscribe to our podcast wherever you get our podcast from, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whichever podcatcher it is, go there, hit the subscribe button, hit the 5-star review, and leave a nice little synopsis about why you like the podcast so other people who stumble across it might think that they would enjoy it too. Also, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter at New Crits and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at New Crits on the Block. We are only growing through word of mouth right now. So honestly, that's the best way for you to help our podcast grow. And the best ways to do it, put those pieces of content that we have on your stories, post them on your feeds, tag people that you think would enjoy them. It's a little thing, but I promise you it really does go a long way. One of the ways we like to give back to all of you amazing community members is we have a Discord. It is a Discord for all things New Crits, but not all things New Crits. Of course, you can come there, talk about the show, talk about the cast, talk to other fans, but we also have plenty of other places that you can just come in and chill. It is a safe, inclusive space for one and all. Come in and just hang with us. If you haven't joined us yet, what the heck are you waiting for? And now you might be thinking, well, Matt, I want to help you with all these things, but where do I go to get to all the places that you just mentioned? Well, from our link tree, of course, linktr.ee/New Crits on the Block. It'll get you to all the places that I just mentioned. And some places I didn't even have time to mention, linktr.ee/New Crits on the Block. It is your central hub for all things New Crits. All right, everyone, let's get you back into this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening thus far. As you know, we come out with new episodes every single Monday. That ain't stopping anytime soon. So let's get you back into this episode. Thank you again so much for listening. We will see you next week. Until then, be safe out there. Be excellent to each other. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Sure.
Well, what does your servitude come with? Like, why would we hire you, sir, instead of taking our money?
Why would we take less money for you to have the privilege to read this book?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start by asking you all if you know anything about this tomb.
Other than everything it showed us?
Right. I saw something as well. Perhaps we should exchange notes on that.
Just that we're bound to it. And Arlo
He
looks,
smiles when you say that.
I don't know
Why are you
if I
smiling?
should continue talking.
We saw people. And then we saw horrible things.
And as he leans in, it's almost like the room gets darker, but he becomes brighter. Like the light is only illuminating him somehow. And he says, "Tell me about the people and the horrible things."
I mean, you didn't have to get all scary. I'd just tell you. I mean,
And as he leans back, everything gets less spooky. Sorry. An effect my Tigerosi heritage sometimes has. I do my best to not manifest it when I can, but like a person with an accent, when I become excited, sometimes I forget.
yeah.
Tell me about the
yeah, no
people.
problem. There's people, like they were in like a laboratory, and then there's things being like experiments being done. And then it just like gets progressively worse. And the people, they look progressively worse. And then I don't know. I can't explain it.
Can I see the book again?
Do we want to give him the book again? I guess. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll hand it over.
He sets it down on the table for you all to see what he's doing. He's not trying to hide anything from you. He just seems very excited. The whole time he was talking, you were talking to him, he just had this huge grin on his face as you were discussing what you saw. And he opens the book, and none of you have those visions again. It looks like the book initially, the gold and leather bound with the sun, the symbol of the sun on the front, or at least as we would know, a sun. People might not know what a sun would be depicted as in this world. And he opens it up, And he puts his fingers on the page and he begins to trace the words that none of you can read. And he says, "Do you know what this says?"
It looks like a blank page, so no.
Well, there's words on it. You
Ah.
just can't read them. You're
Oh.
illiterate, but it's, if you remember, I said it was written in a language that none of you knew how to read, which is shocking because you're from all over the world.
Yeah, I can't read either way, so
Oh, worry not. Many were not gifted with the opportunity to learn to read. But this language in particular, do any of you know what it says?
Can't say I do.
What about you, Lila? Can you read this? Is it Aruvian in nature?
I don't know. Can I?
No, you can't. You've never.
Okay.
We've discussed this in a previous episode. None of you can read this book.
Yeah, we can't read it.
Yes, and Zinc.
Hmm.
I assume this is all gibberish to you.
Yeah, I don't know what this says.
Well, I have very fascinating and interesting news for you. I don't know either.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you knew how to read.
Great.
But
So does that make like you less useful now?
not at all, because I do know how we can read it. That is one of the things I can offer you with my servitude. But I don't want you to think of me as
equal. You're right.
quite the opposite, lesser.
Perfect.
I would like to have...
Wait, no.
When I say equal partnership, allow me to better explain. I care not for the coin that you might earn moving forward. I only wish to know more, as he puts his hand on the book and closes two of his four eyes. Allow me this. With its knowledge, surely we could earn far more than the 4 coin you lose by giving it away. And better yet, we have the knowledge it offers us. And if I know anything, with knowledge comes power, and with power comes control. And what would you do with control?
Control stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
If you don't care about money, why don't you just give all of it to us then? And you learn the book and tell us everything so that we can control stuff.
That's
Well, I like
exactly
that.
what I said.
Yeah, he
I
actually,
offer you 8
that's-
coins,
That is exactly
as
what
that
he
is
said.
all I have.
Great. Why are we against this again?
I don't know.
No one said we
I
were.
never said we were. We were just discussing. My question, actually, 2 questions.
2
One.
questions.
Since you're technically betraying your employers, who are they?
Oh, we've never done that, have we, in this world?
No, I'm not. I don't care about that. I just want to
That's
know
not
who
the
we're
whole question.
potentially.
Hold on.
Yeah, we're not. I just want to know who we're potentially pissing off.
I will happily discuss that with you. Second question.
Second question, I'm starting to forget because you interrupted my first question.
That
Perhaps
wasn't a
it'll
question.
come to you.
That might have been my second question. No. Why do
Doves cry.
I'm trying to figure out the words. 1 second. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Why do you want to serve us just to learn what's in this book? Are you going to do the things that we saw? Because I saw people sewing flesh together, not really into that kind of control. I don't know about the rest of you, but
Well,
personally,
sewing flesh together is just what like a doctor would do. So it's
no,
not that
it
weird.
was like flayed skin in a pile.
I remind you that in this vision, these people look like scientists and doctors and then quickly became corrupted into eyeless, like gaunt, naked husks of people staring at you as they murdered each other and sewed their flesh together. So Arlo's concerns are not completely unfounded.
I was just making a joke. It's fine. Go on.
Yes. So my question is, if you want that, then I disagree with that.
As you're talking, he closes the book and picks it up and looks at it, looks at the spine of the book, tries to discern any other information on it, feels the leather of it, and then puts it back down. He kind of traces the circle on the front. He closes his eyes almost like he's reading Braille. And he opens all 4 of them again and he looks back at you. I'll answer your second question first. I don't want to serve you.
Backwards. Oh.
I just want to know more about this artifact. My employers, who I will tell you about shortly when I answer the first question, hired me to find them artifacts. They would tell me where something can be found. I would either find it myself or hire others to do it. I would analyze the artifact, learn what I could from it, and then pass it on to them. I was given the ability to gain employment and knowledge in the process. This I don't want to give up. This I feel like I can't give up. And for that reason, I wish to keep it. But not solely. I don't wish to possess it alone. You were the ones who originally found it. I want to help you learn more about it. And I myself can learn more. Maybe about me. Your first question, who will you be, as you said, pissing off? Well, I was working for an organization known as the Circle of the Flame. They are one of the factions in Duskfall. And I will read to you what the book says they are. The Circle of Flame is a secret society of antiquarians and scholars. A cover for extortion, graft, vice, and murder. Which is weird, because if they're a secret society, then why do they need to have a cover? Isn't being a secret society a cover in itself?
You would think.
Yeah, it was like, they're kind of like a gentleman's club, and they're like, oh, we love artifacts, and we're just a bunch of archaeologists who are interested in knowledge of the old world. But then in back alley deals, they do shady shit, because everybody does shady shit. You haven't met a single person yet who doesn't. The individual members are not specifically known to me, but I know there are numerous. An organization of their clout and financial capabilities must have a source of adequate income. But I do know one, the one who always contacts me, a Harville Brogan. He is a vice purveyor and owns the Centrulia Club, located in Brightstone. I found him to be quiet and methodical. One might say shrewd in his dealings. But with all the business I've done with him, I may have once or twice slipped a thing or two by him that he wasn't aware of, and I found it to be rather easy. I feel we can lie to him rather simply, and everyone can win. I will still have my contacts with the Order of the Flame. They will know nothing of the sort that you failed in your missions, because they have no idea who you are. I hire people quietly and discreetly without their knowledge, a go-between. It allows me to keep my business associates from knowing one another. It is a wise decision that has brought me great profit and safety over the years.
Well, my 2 questions were satisfied.
Allow me to ask this again. Would you like 8 coin and access to my, we'll call it the home? And I will tell you that you gain turf if you do this, which is something you do want. Like having another place is something that you would want.
Look, I'm totally fine agreeing to this.
Is there more stew?
Yeah, do we get more food?
I will make you all the food you desire. I love to cook.
Sounds like you're serving us, but that's just me.
Perhaps somebody who spent a life of servitude does not fully realize the difference between servitude and serving. Here, first things first, let me get you your coin. And he gets up and walks out of the room.
God, finally.
And some time goes by, and you kind of hear like some shuffling, and then like something being moved that's like heavy upstairs. And then something getting moved back, something heavy closing. And he comes downstairs and he has a bag of various silver pieces, gems, and stuff, equaling, as he puts it on the table, 8 coin. This is all that I own, and I give it to you freely if you promise to honor my part of the deal.
Just for you to keep some stupid book? Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. Give me the coin.
Yeah.
Give me the loot.
Now, remember, you feel bound to the book, and he's agreed for you to have access to it too. So this is the only reason why you feel this is okay. Otherwise, if you just were giving it up freely and walking away, you might have some reason why you don't like that. But you understand that you still have full access to this book. For all intents and purposes, you're not selling it to him. You're just sharing it.
Great.
Perfect.
Yes, you'll keep it safe. And
So I am going to grant you a couple things. For starters, you're going to get turf. I'm looking at the way the rep tracker works for you guys leveling up your crew. It's going to take forever with the way we play. So I'm going to go ahead and grant you 2 turf. One is the ghost hole, and one is Styx's house, which you can, I guess it's your house now. But for now, I'm just going to say Styx's house. Hose. House. There you go. That's how you spell house. And then on your crew tracker, you can see I marked these 2 turf boxes next to rep. So you can see how they're blackened out. So now you require less rep in order to level up. So basically, by having turf, you're making your XP gauge less to level up in that sense. So that's a useful thing to have. We should also discuss how much heat you generated for the last mission. We never really got that far. All we did was we just did rep and now coins. We got to discuss heat for the last mission. A lot happened in that last mission.
mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? How much heat do you think you generated? 0 would be smooth and quiet with low exposure. 2 is contained, standard exposure. 4 is loud, and 6 is wild, devastating exposure.
I would argue 2 because it's contained into a city that literally nobody
No
ever
one's
goes
there.
to.
And we never.
Yeah.
We
So
never
even
really
if we
got
made
seen or noticed by the wardens or whatever they're called, I can't remember.
no, and
Yeah,
not
the
anyone else who's
guards.
alive anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead
So-
and say that I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
It's almost 0, but there was explosions, dead bodies were left. People went to the scene of
there
what
was
happened.
some stuff.
And
Mhm.
Arlo killed somebody inside the city afterwards. So unfortunately,
God damn
you
it,
do
Arlo.
get 2 heat for killing inside the city, plus the 2 heat for it being a contained standard exposure for a total of 4 heat. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go.
Well, yeah.
So there's your 4 heat from the last job, which is not bad. You always get heat. There's no way around that unless you just do nothing. And then you'll starve to death because you'll never gain access to funds and food. So
Right.
yeah, 4 is not bad. Overall, the ears I have around the city speak that there was a disturbance of some form, but nobody really knows exactly what, who, how, or why. Excellent job. Now, you should give me some time with the book. You are free to come and go as you please. And I'll see what I can learn from it and how we can potentially begin to start reading it. I have to contact some people, and of course, I have to do it quietly and safely to ensure that nobody is made the wiser of our situations. I recommend that you all take your downtime activities while I do this. we should also roll entanglements. So who wants to roll it? So the way rolling entanglements work is you roll the number of die equal to your wanted level, which is currently 0 or 1. And then you, actually, I just want to see something real quick. 1 second. I'm going to try something. Oh, actually, you know what you do? I think I did this wrong last time. There is on your crew sheet the wanted
Roll
button.
entanglement.
Yeah, you can just roll the wanted button and that allows you to roll entanglement. So why don't you guys do that? I just did it, but that was me testing something. So who wants to roll entanglement? Because you have 0 wanted level currently, you're going to roll 2 dice and take the lower roll. And the lower the roll, the better, because the higher the roll, the worse the outcome.
Okay, who's feeling lucky?
I murdered somebody, so I can roll it.
I was gonna say, I know Brian's been the hot hand here today.
It's
been a little up and
or
down.
No, exactly. That's what we want, though.
But we do
the
want you to
low.
roll low, and you have
Yeah.
been doing
So why
that.
don't you go ahead
Okay.
and roll?
And this is telling us what entanglements you have. Oh,
Hell
what'd you
yeah.
get?
What'd you get, Brian?
See,
3
there
and
we
a 1.
go.
3 and a 1. So you take the lowest roll, which is a 1. However, 1, 2, and 3 for the entanglements are all the same. So it wouldn't have made a difference. But still, it's a very good roll. So for the entanglement options, we have either questioning. This is where I get to choose. We have either questioning or gang troubles. So gang troubles is when one of your gangs or cohorts causes trouble due to their flaws. You don't really have a lot of cohorts yet, and you're pretty low. Nobody really knows who you are yet. So I'm going to go ahead and say, instead, we're going to do questioning. The blue coats grab an NPC, member of your crew, or one of the crew's contacts to question them about your crimes. Who do you think the blue coats grab? And it honestly doesn't matter. This is purely storytelling. What matters is the dice that are going to get rolled, and nobody's dice makes a difference. So as you guys leave to go and, pick stuff up and do your downtime, one of the blue coats grabs someone. Who gets grabbed?
Melvier might be a good one.
I would say it's either Zinc or Arlo would be my two, because I feel like they're the
Yeah.
most
Are we getting grabbed? or
prominent,
is it
like
NPC?
in their sights.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of us.
You know what? I'm going to say it's Arlo because you murdered a person in the city, like during the day. I use the quotation marks. And so, yeah, as you're going about your business on your way to do your activities, one of the blue coats goes and grabs you. And you are taken downtown, so to say, where you are questioned about your involvement in something we know you did. They're trying to get a confession out of you. It states the blue coats grab someone, make a fortune roll to see how much they talk. 1 to 3, you get heat. 4 to 5, you get less heat. Or you can pay them off with 2 coin and you don't get any heat. That's up to you. 2 coin's a lot of money. So, you can afford any amount of heat right now. So do you want to pay them off or do you want to roll to see if you talk?
I guess roll to see if we talk.
Okay. So they grill you. So I need you to make a fortune roll.
I rolled a 4 and a 4.
All right. So you roll 4. So according to my notes, a 4 equals 1 heat. So you do your best to not talk.
I'll take that.
But this guy, he's standing over you and he's saying, all right, now listen here. We know that you normally work down at the ghost hole, keeping the riffraff out of check. So my question is, what were you doing in 6 Towers when that lady got killed?
Errands.
What kind of errands?
Grocery shopping.
This goes back and forth for a while. And finally, he lets you go, not having gained much information, but just sort of makes a little mental check. And before you go, he says, one last thing. Do you know someone named Zinc the Stink?
That's a ridiculous name.
And then he smiles and he goes, it is, isn't it?
Why?
Hey,
No reason. Have a nice day, citizen. And as you open the door, he opens the door to have you leave, and somebody comes over and says, Darmot, there's someone needs to talk to you on the fantasy phone. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll be there in a minute. You're free to go. Stay out of trouble.